A healthy tomorrow begins with a solid foundation at home, and there are simple ways to start your kids on a path to success. Eat dinner together. Add veggies to each meal. Save treats for special occasions. And be sure to get up and play an hour each day. Help your kids make all of their dreams come true. Be our guest to healthy living today at letsmove.gov.
Welcome to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller. Thanks for tuning in. My special guest today from the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce, Member Services Director Joe Welsh. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming in today. I just
Absolutely.
Saw you at Chamber meeting Wednesday. It was great.
Yeah.
So do you remember everything?
Your name again? No.
I laughed because it was about memory and all those things. And
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
I've tried to do that. Say somebody's name 2 to 3 times in the first 30 seconds you meet them.
Yep.
It's just a good little lesson for us, salespeople out there, never remembering people's names.
I tried it on my dog, and the dog just kept looking at it like, "Why are we doing this?"
That's right. Is there any handshake?
No, there's a dog treat every time, I mention her name, I gave her something. But, well, we're glad you're here. A lot of activity going on. A lot of activity going on with the Chamber. Talk a little bit about what's coming up.
Well, we have the October Trade Show. We have this every year in the fall. It used to be the women's group within the Chamber, subcommittee of the Chamber that used to do that. But now it's just a Chamber event. October 1st, is that right? October 1st, the first Tuesday.
Correct.
It is open to the public, but you have to be a member of the Chamber to actually display. Okay. So it is a trade show, and you can come in, if you're a member of the Chamber, come. We have usually about 90 local vendors there, which is a good way for folks to get to know who you are, and then the public can come in free of charge, and there's usually food vendors there. They come and bring their stuff. So.
That's a good thing. I can do that.
Free food. Now, do I need to say anything more?
No, I'll be there. And where's this going to be?
This is always at the Eagles. Sorry,
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about that. It's the Eagles on Main Street, and it's 5 to 7, and vendors usually start setting up at 3. So.
And to be a vendor, you have to be a member of the Chamber.
Correct.
Okay, but public can come in.
Public can come in. It's almost like a trick or treat for adults, so you can get all kinds of goodies, and so it's a great time.
Yeah. The members could be selling insurance, could be anything,
Services,
whatever's related
products,
to their. Okay.
Yeah, whatever they want. A lot of service folks, home care, of course, the nursing facilities here in town. But then you have people that are selling products, also, services like banks and insurance, like you said, investment folks too.
And again, that's going to be Tuesday, October 1st, from 5 to 7 at the Eagles. About 90 vendors will be there. It's a good opportunity to network and talk to people.
Yeah, it's a good time to get there and ahead of time and see other people that are in the Chamber. We have, we're getting, 8 to 10 new members every month, so it is a good time for those folks, the new members, to showcase what they do and what they have, and then for other members to meet them. So it is a good networking event among Chamber members.
Now, do you spend a lot of time communicating with other chambers?
I'm a member of the Canal Winchester Chamber of Commerce. I don't do a lot. My role is member services, so my role is to get out and communicate with our members and get new members, sponsorships for events. So I spend a lot of time doing that, just keeping everybody happy, and if there's something we can do better that we are doing, we love to hear those, the good and the bad and the ugly.
Yeah, exactly. If I remember, Travis Markwood, the president of Chamber, well, you said that memberships are up this year, or on the rise, I guess?
Yes, we've been working really hard this year to increase membership. As you know, I took over for Tammy Nooser, and she passed away in December of last year. So during the time she was sick, nobody was really working on memberships, and I think things were just lagging a little bit. So picked up that and gone with it. And in September, just next week actually, we're having our membership blitz. So we have a committee of, we call them coachmen, and they go out for a couple weeks. They don't go out for the entire 2 weeks. Let me clarify that. But between the 9th and the 20th, these teams go out and talk to potential new business or new members. And I give them a list, and they go out and hit the streets and try to drum up some more members for us. And it's nice that they're local businesses reaching out to other local businesses. So it's a good fit to have them do that. And then at the end of that blitz, there's cash money that they win.
I don't remember that when I used to do that. Ron Ruff and I used to go out. I don't ever remember cash money.
Maybe they didn't pay you.
Maybe they didn't tell me about it.
That's right. But it's a great incentive. It's a nice amount of cash that they get for the winner that brings in the most members. And
now these have to be new members, right? They're not.
They have to be new members. Yeah. We have some members on those lists that maybe were members at one time, and then they've dropped off.
Right.
So those qualify too. But we certainly want to reach out to new members. And sometimes somebody has a relationship with a business that maybe I don't have, and so it's a good way for them to kind of reach out to some members that I may not have a contact with.
And that's going to be from September 9th to September 20th?
Yes.
And if you're interested, just call the chamber?
Call me, yeah. I'm one of the teams, too. I'm on one of the teams, Travis and I, but we don't get the cash money. Oh. We try to win anyway, but it doesn't mean anything.
And if you want to call the chamber, 653-8251.
Correct.
And
ask for me or anybody there, but certainly, I can, if anybody has any ideas of a new business or interested themselves, then certainly give us a call. I'd be glad to reach out.
We talk a lot about economic development. I know there's Bob Clark and Joy Davis and a bunch of different people, Michael Pettit. Does the chamber stay involved in that cycle?
Yes, Travis works really closely with all of those folks. He's on the 33 Alliance board and works with them, and works with Mike Pettit. They communicate a lot about upcoming jobs and things like that. So the new company, Cyclone, which I don't know a whole lot about other than what was in the paper, Travis was working with Mike on, and he knew that. So yeah, it would be nice to be able to be out and doing a little bit more of that new business development, but with Mike Pettit and Bob here in the county and Joy, we don't really, we help with that process if we can. Certainly if we have the contacts or a way to kind of, grease the wheels, we can certainly help out.
You mentioned just a few minutes ago a good friend of both you and I, Tammy Nooser, that passed away, and I know there's going to be coming an upcoming event to help Tammy out.
Yes. There's a foundation that Tammy started before she passed, and her son, Justin, is the chair of that, or the head of that board, and they raise funds for folks that are need some money, not for medical expenses so much as just help with things that are related to to when you're in treatment for cancer. But they're having a run walk. It's a 5K run, 1 mile walk and all the funds from that will go to her foundation. And it is September 14th, next Saturday morning at 9 a.m. down in Bremen. I don't know where it starts exactly, but it's down there. Bremen's not a big place. I think you can find it.
So should they call the chamber to
register
for this?
They can call the chamber and register, 653-8251, or we on our website, which is www.lancoc.org, and find the link there and certainly get a regregistration form.
Yeah, Tamara was an employee of the chamber and a good friend to a lot of people.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
hopefully we'll get a lot of people out to, you don't have to walk. You don't have to run, you can walk.
You can walk. Yep.
It's a great event to help somebody out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, that's coming up on September 14th at Bremen. Leadership class coming up again?
Yes. Every fall we kick off leadership, and anybody that can participate in this. It's not just young professionals, but anybody can do that. Have you been through the leadership class?
No,
I have not.
I have not. I don't believe I have.
But it starts in October this year. October 4th is the first class, and then that's actually just a mixer get together. And then it runs through May, so it's a 9-month class that they take, led by some professionals here in town.
Is it do they meet once a week, or is it once a month? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah. It's on Fridays. I do know that, and
they can call me. You can call the chamber and find out. And get some more information about it. Is there a fee for it?
There is a fee. It's $650, I believe, for that 9-month class. And registration ends September 27th. So if anybody is interested, but certainly if it's after that date, they can still call and get into it. Everybody that I've known that has gone through it, it's been very beneficial for them. It's a way of getting connected with other professionals, and they learn about public services like water and the court,
right.
And just different companies. So they have speakers, and so it's really, I think it's a good program. It really connects you. And then each team has a project that they present at the end of that 9 months. So last year, one of the teams, in fact, Jared, who works in our office, they developed this free fit Saturday workout. So, and they started out just doing it the first month in June. The schedule's not on here, but they decided they'd ask a couple of gyms in town to come to Rising Park, do a free workout, and just for anybody that wanted to come. And then they had so much interest, as you can see from my list here. It goes clear till the end of this month. So it really took off. It was a great project. And actually, the young professionals, that is a subcommittee of the chamber, they've actually taken this over as part of what they do, young professionals. So it started out as a leadership project, went further than that, and now it's incorporated into one of our subcommittees. So we'll see what it holds for next summer. But it's nice. You just go down there, you show up, and each one of these gyms provides some kind of training that they kind of want to showcase. And as you can see, some of them are on here several times. You can name them all if you like to. Yeah. The Family Y, of course, Deline Choice Fit, Focus Training Centers, CrossFit 740, Lancaster Police Athletic League, Sweat Fitness, Jacked Fitness. So those are, I think those are all the gyms in Lancaster. We've had just a real surge in gyms in the last year. I've signed up quite a few of these folks for membership, but it's a good way for you to see where you want to go and how you fit in, because I think going to a gym is real kind of a personal kind of choice, and not everybody fits in at every gym. So
and this is at Rising Park.
Yes, this is at Rising Park.
Saturdays at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, you just show up, sign in, and ultimately these folks want you to join their gym, but it's just a good way to kind of see what they each offer and their type of workout. I think it's a good way to judge whether you'd want to join their gym.
Right.
Because it's rather intimidating to go into a gym, I think, and everybody's working out, looking like they know what they're doing, and you're a newbie. It's kind of hard.
And it looks like there's 4 classes left, one on September 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and 28th.
Correct.
Again, they're free workouts, Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, Rising Park. Make sure you bring some water with you, appropriate attire if you're going to be working out. And, that's great. That's,
it's awesome, really, what an idea how far it'll go, and I think that's a great example of the leadership classes.
One of the other things coming up is Membership Appreciation Lunch,
Yes.
September 20th.
Yeah, that's kind of the culmination of our Blitz. So on the 20th, we have a cookout downtown outside our offices, usually around 11:30 to 1. So anybody that works downtown or can come down. You can have free lunch, brats, hot dogs, burgers, all the sides and all that.
And those are for people that are members of the chamber, right?
That's correct. Our members, yes. So it is free though, so you can come down, and hopefully it'll be a nice sunny day. But it's another great way for our new members too to kind of get to know folks and participate.
Another group that you've been dealing with, Young Professionals of Lancaster.
Yes. They meet quarterly, and they're young professionals, which means, I'm sorry to say, we're out of this group. I'm over 40 now. It's 21 to 40 age group. It's a subcommittee of the chamber, and they just promote growth professionally, civically, socially. They get together, do some different events. I brought the list. They have power breakfasts, and the host and the speaker isn't on here yet, but they meet. This year they've had Angela Kryl, who's has a communication PR firm here in town. She's spoken to the group. Steve Wells, the president of Fairfield National, Mina Ubing, the president, CEO of the hospital. So they come in and just talk about their lives and how the growth of their personal and professional life, how it's kind of evolved. So it's kind of good for young professionals to see, where people come from, how they kind of end up.
Yeah.
You don't have to start out in something and then, when you're 18, decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I understand that. Yeah.
We've all had that, journey that it's kind of been the scenic route for
Right.
me. I don't know about you, Mike, but
So can they just call you again about this?
yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely. They have a Facebook page, so it's Facebook. You can log into Facebook and then go to Young Professionals of Lancaster and go to their site, go to their page, and see what all they do and updates and kind of what they're all about.
That's fantastic.
It's a great group, really dynamic young professionals.
And then you have another group, W4W.
Yeah, it's a women's group, and you're out of this one too.
I'm over two.
This one I can go to. We used to have, and you'll remember this, and when I worked with the chamber as a volunteer back when I worked for Fairfield National Bank, they had a women's resource network. And it was a group of women that subcommittee of the chamber, and they did the yearly October trade show and had speakers and seminars and things like that. And that group was kind of morphed into another subcommittee and kind of changed things a few years ago. But actually 3 ladies that are chamber members wanted to start a networking group similar to what Pickerington and Canal do. They get together, and it's women networking and kind of referring each other's business to each other and kind of letting people know what they do. It's a way of marketing, but it's strictly for women. So we meet the last Friday of every month, 8 to 9 in the morning. We do different locations because the person that hosts it has to be a chamber member, but we can go to their location.
Okay.
So if it's just a business, that we can go there and kind of see what they do, hands-on, see what's happening there. And you don't have to be a member to attend, but you have to be a member to host. So in September, we are, Sally Sutter from Mermaid Travel is going to be the host. So she does not have she works out of her home. So if you have a business like that, we can meet other places.
Yeah.
So we are going to be meeting at another location other than the chamber. But we haven't figured that out yet because we've had a little snafu in where we were going to meet, so we have to change that up. So I don't know yet where we're going to meet, and that's the 27th. So actually the same day as the memory training.
Right, I was going to talk. It's the same day as Phil Marino's training seminar. He was just at the Chamber of Commerce, Lancaster Chamber of Commerce, and last month I believe it was at Canal Winchester.
Yeah.
And it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
He teaches you some tricks to remember.
Exactly, yeah. He does a free seminar, of course, for the chambers. He'll come and he will come and speak, and he did come and speak free of charge. And then if he does a soft sell, as you know, kind of come, if you'd like for me to come back, it's a longer, 3.5 hour seminar, kind of getting a little bit more in depth into the memory training. And he's going to be back September 27th, and it'll be 9 a.m. to 12:31. He said, $135 a person, and then anybody else from the organization is $99 then each. So gives a little discount for others. So which is great. I think it'd be really interesting to take his class.
I thought he was interesting. I've heard him twice.
Yeah.
And at Canal he did a couple of different things, and then at Lancaster he did some stuff. But,
Yeah.
I think people were entertained as well as they learned something from
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. He does they do some other seminars. He does one on presentations, which I think I would enjoy that because I'm always in front of people talking to them. And but this one is going to be again on the memory training, so you can really, you can memorize a list of 15 items, and just like he did that day, which was remarkable that you could just throw out, okay, number 14, and he can tell you, yeah, that's way beyond my capabilities.
So again, can they show up that day, or should they sign up ahead of time?
I would sign up ahead of time because they can just give us a call again, and kind of we can connect them to him, because there is a fee, and I would imagine he'd want kind of payment information up front, because there is a certain amount of folks that he wants to have there, and if he has any materials, we want to make sure to have all that. So I would definitely register ahead of time for that.
We've just got a few minutes left, but
Okay.
January is the annual dinner, and it's going to be at Fisher Catholic this year.
Yeah, we're making some changes this year. We're going to be at Fisher Catholic. It's January 25th, the last Saturday night of January. And it's always a beautiful night. It's balmy.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's probably 17, 18 degrees.
That's right. And then if we're lucky, it doesn't snow, right?
If you're lucky.
That's right. Annual dinner, awards night, trade show. It's one of our biggest events of the year, and it takes us several months, of course. As you can imagine, we're already talking about it, planning it. And we're excited. There are going to be some changes, and we'll be announcing
You
that.
keep talking about changes. Can you tell us any?
No,
without giving anything away?
No, I can't right now.
Ask,
Yeah, I can tell you Fisher Catholic at this point, but that's about all I can tell you.
There's quite several awards that you give out too. The chamber gives away.
Yes. Small business, large business. We do
You might
some
want to define what
humanitarian.
the large and small business is, if you can remember. That's fine. We'll call Phil Marino and ask. But there are two, small business and large, and then
We do humanitarian award, the Floyd Wolf, and then
Brett Markwood.
Brett Markwood. That's right. Yes. Forgive me. I should know these things. And
Yeah, it was a police officer who was killed.
Right. And so that's always given to someone in the service sector. But the Floyd Wolf is more someone that has, I think, from my memory, someone that's helped the community, not necessarily been, it's not an employment related thing. I always remember Mr. Kraft that won it a few years ago. Chris, his son Chris, was a year older than me, and his dad was just Chris's biggest fan, and Chris went on to play football in college, and his dad had helped young kids
for a long time.
trained to play football, and just the sweetest man I think I ever met. Generous and really a great guy. So he's the one guy I remember that got that award, because I guess maybe knowing him, but he definitely deserved that award for sure.
Well, Joe, it's been fun having you on today. I know.
Thank you.
When down the road, do you have any ideas you like? I mean, do you go into Travis and say, "Hey, can we do this?" Or do you?
Yeah, I do.
And Travis says,
"No, you're crazy." You know, we tried that, Joe. It failed miserably. No.
No, I know.
We all work together there, but I'm every time since I've been there since March, we've kind of implemented some new things and pushed for some things. And Jared has been there a year, and he and I have some new ideas. I came in the first month and had 3 new ideas, and Alicia said, "Slow down, Joe. You don't want to, you just don't want to go all out at just like that and not have anything else next month." So, but when you have fresh people in a workplace, it seems like they come from just different perspective and add some things. So.
Do you ever call other chambers, like in Newark or Delaware, and say, "Hey, how'd this work for you?" Or?
Yeah, do communicate with them a little bit. I haven't done as much as that as I should, because I just am kind of getting my feet wet here, but definitely need to reach out and do that. I'm a little familiar with Newark because I worked over there for 3 years, so they've got a great chamber over there, huge group. I think we have more members than they do, but not gonna.
You're just throwing that out there.
Just throwing that out there. I don't know. We work with the Canal Chamber and Pickerington. We do things together. We are all in Fairfield County, so. Yeah, if they have a great idea. In fact, the memory training, Phil Marino, Amanda from Canal Winchester, she called me and said, "Joe, this guy would be great for your luncheons." So it's always good to get those names, because you're on that committee, Mike. You know how coming up with a fresh new idea sometimes is hard. So it's good to work together with those folks.
Well, Joe Welsh, the Member Services Director for the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce. You can get a hold of her at 653-8251. We appreciate you coming in. What's on today's agenda? Are you done for the day now? Or?
I have some things to follow up at the office on. A new member I need to go meet, actually. So, no, my day doesn't end at noon on Friday.
I know. I'm pretty sure Joe changed her schedule to be here today for us. So we appreciate it very much.
No problem. Yep.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller, and remember, until we meet again, let's make a difference.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.